I want to speak with you this evening about something that my mentor, Rabbi Karen Kedar, calls the spiritual practice of articulation. The spiritual practice of articulation, of the work of finding the right words for the moment and then being brave enough to say them. And for the occasion, I wore my Scrabble socks. I want to talk about words. I told Layla that I'm careful about matching my socks to the Torah portion. I have different socks for tomorrow morning for you guys too. Don't worry. Okay. When I can. It's nice when we can. I've got whales for when we tell the Jonah story. I gotta fill the stock back up. Anyway, the spiritual practice of articulation. Our Torah portion this week is deeply concerned with words. It does deal with them in some unpleasant and icky ways, and if you want to talk about that, you can do that at Torah study tomorrow morning with Rabbi Fisher. She's going to do the icky stuff. I'm going to do the nice stuff tonight. Torah portion talks a lot about words and the words we say and how we go about saying them. In an article in his book, The Heart of Torah, Rabbi Shai Held sees this interesting tiny little moment in the Parsha. It's talking about restitution, when we've broken something and we have to fix it. Earlier in Torah, it tells us when you break someone's something, you pay them back plus 1/5. You pay them back for the thing that you broke and also like a little extra to show that you're sorry for the thing that you broke. But in Parshat Naso, it adds something. It says when we recognize our guilt, we have to do a vidui. We have to say sorry. It's a new addition to the ritual. The first ritual is if you broke it, fix it, plus a little extra. This time it's if you broke it, fix it, and say sorry. There's power to those words, and it's hard. It can be scary to say those words. As he writes in his essay for the Parsha, there's 2 essays per Parsha. It's the second essay. He says it's not hard to feel sorry. It can be hard to say sorry. But that there's purpose, there's meaning, there's beautiful power to taking the time to find the right words and say them out loud to your fellow. That the ritual, just doing the thing is nice, but without the words, without the heart present in the moment, the ritual falls flat. We just said a prayer for healing. We can think healing, we can do the Jewish thing that says to do for healing, but there's power to saying the name aloud. And for you to say the name aloud, you don't need the rabbis to read a list. We have the power and the agency to speak aloud our hopes and our prayers. It doesn't belong to someone else, but we do the work of finding the just right words to say, and we know the feeling that can bring. Torah portion also talks about vows. This Jewish insistence that what comes out of our mouth matters in a deep, foundational spiritual way to God or the mysteries of the universe, or perhaps more importantly, the relationships that we hold with one another. That words have tremendous power to hold us together, to buoy and sustain ourselves, to help us come to a sense of who we are and the people we want to be. One of my teachers, Dr. Betsy Stone, she does a few seminars for rabbis. We gather and we talk. She's brilliant. Some of our teachers have learned and studied with her. We're hoping to bring her back again sometime soon. One of the things that she taught me that just sticks with me all the time, especially in this moment that we're living through as a Jewish people and an American family and a human family that feels hard, the moments that can feel hard. She says that when we speak about it, our words have the power to elevate happy feelings and to diminish the power of the uncomfortable feelings. That talking about sadness and fear diminishes the power of the sadness and fear. But talking about being happy elevates our joy. It's kind of what shul is for, isn't it? We come here to celebrate the big moments, to speak about. That's why we have to have oneg, so we can talk about the happy moments in our lives, because it elevates and lifts us to have a place to speak it and share it out loud, not just to kind of hold it in our hearts. And when the world is hard, and lately it's felt really hard, to be alone in that feeling, to not have a place to verbalize, to engage in the spiritual practice of articulation, saying how we feel in that moment, not to solve it or to fix the problem, but just to live in the world of feeling and to say it, and to have people we can look in the eye and say it to, who will see us, who will listen to us, not that they have to agree with us, but will hear us in our sorrow or our fear or our dismay or our anger. To say that just sometimes feels like just lets it off just a little bit, to have that place to share and to speak, that we can do that here too. Maybe it's at Oneg or in study, or when you're kibitzing with a neighbor at services. We know you do that too. That's okay. That's Jewish. We do it all the time. That having a place to speak those feelings, it humanizes us. It gives us power and strength. It pulls us out of the depths and elevates us higher and higher. And the last moment of words, of spiritual articulation in our parsha, is this beautiful blessing. This beautiful tripartite blessing, the threefold benediction, the priestly benediction. Scholars say it's perhaps the most ancient part of Torah. May God bless and keep you. May God's light shine on you and be gracious to you. May God be present in your life and give you peace. These words that God gives to Aaron to give to the priests to offer to the people. God doesn't bless the people. We bless each other. It's through our words that we receive blessing. And when you ask a Jew to say a blessing, they say, what page is it on? In other traditions, they just say blessings. They take that time to think, well, what's the word that's needed for this moment? To look our fellow in the eye and say something that's true. It's nice to have the words on the page. They give us some foundation, keva. They give us structure, something historical to tap into, tradition that feels resonant and powerful in the moment. But what that beautiful piece of Torah offers to us is that blessing isn't just something that we feel from God. It's something that we offer to each other. Maybe it's the sweet words you whisper to your kids when you give them a kiss on the cappy before you put them to bed at night. Or it's the word you say to a friend when you look them in the eye and just, it doesn't have to be a may you or I hope for you, I pray that you, but just see them for who they are. And with our words, whether they're the exact right ones or the ones that work in the moment, the truth that we can offer to our fellows, tremendous, deep blessing. You felt those moments before. When someone saw you for who you were, noticed you, recognized you, and said it out loud. It's nice to get it in a note. It's nice to just kind of feel it. But when they said it to you, when that happens to me, I usually cry. Or if I'm thanking someone else, as you are learning, I cry. There's tremendous spiritual power in truth, in blessing, in the words that we can offer and utter. Sometimes it's scary to speak truth. Whether it's the hard feelings that we feel, the sorries, easier to feel than to say. We're not sure if we want to share our joys when the world feels hard. We don't want to burden someone with the heaviness that we're feeling. We're not sure if we're worthy of being one to offer blessing. But our Torah, our tradition, insists on our power of words. God created the world with words. And we too create worlds with words. We create blessing. We strengthen each other and ourselves elevating us out of the depths and reaching us to places that are higher and higher, to access blessing and truth and the spiritual vision of our world. There is deep, foundational, fundamental power in our words. So part of our job, to dig into the felt bag of Scrabble tiles, to take the time to arrange them and find the just right one, to find a friend, a family member, a loved one, maybe someone you haven't talked to in a while. You just give them a call on a long drive and just say something that's true. Say something that needs to be said, to elevate, to tap into that universal, gigantic, and tiny, intimate power that we hold. With that wild power, that incredible spiritual gift, that thing that makes us human and gives us the opportunity to be vessels of the sacred with the words that we can utter. Keni Hiratzon, may we be worthy of our words, and may these words be worthy of the truth that comes next. Shabbat Shalom.